Welcome to this episode of Mentors at Your Benchside, the podcast giving you advice, tips and tools for getting the most out of your research. I'm Thomas Warwick, and today I'll be taking you through 10 nasty chemicals in the lab and what they can do to you. Researchers are surrounded by dangerous substances, from infectious microbes and dodgy chemicals to cranky advisors. With hazards everywhere, it's easy to forget how deadly even common lab chemicals can be. But don't worry, we've compiled a list of 10 common dangerous chemicals to help you out and keep you on your toes. Number 1, acetonitrile. Be careful with this flammable irritant. Once this solvent is inhaled, ingested, or absorbed through the skin, it converts to cyanide. Number 2, chloroform. This volatile solvent can irritate the skin, eyes, and lungs. It also acts as an anesthetic that depresses the central nervous system. And once inside the body, it converts to highly toxic phosgene, a chemical weapon used during World War I. Number 3, dimethyl sulfoxide, also known as DMSO. DMSO is such an excellent solvent that it crosses healthy and intact skin and may take whatever is dissolved along with it. Be sure to wear your butyl rubber gloves if you're dissolving large amounts of something toxic in DMSO. Number 4, formaldehyde. This common fixative is a suspected human carcinogen, so handle it in the fume hood. It may also cause dermatitis, sinusitis, and asthma. And don't buffer formaldehyde with hydrochloric acid, because together they form the potent carcinogen bis-chloromethyl ether. Number 5, beta-mercaptoethanol, also known as BME. As if the smell of rotten fish isn't bad enough, BME is a combustible and corrosive reducing agent. It can harm the skin and mucous membranes and may cause larynx spasms, pneumonitis, and pulmonary edema when inhaled. Number 6, methanol. Like other volatile solvents, methanol can easily enter the body through the lungs, gut, or skin. Once inside, methanol transforms to formic acid, which causes metabolic acidosis and blinding retinal toxicity. Number 7, sodium azide. This popular preservative is an extremely toxic skin irritant and can cause headaches, dangerously low blood pressure, and even heart failure. Sadly, its toxicity and availability in labs have made it a method of suicide for researchers. Another word of caution, don't pour sodium azide down the sink, where it can react with copper and lead pipes, forming highly explosive substances. Number 8, sodium hydroxide. Disturbingly, it's better to be splashed in the eye with a concentrated acid than sodium hydroxide. Acids precipitate proteins, which form a protective scab over unharmed tissue. But strong bases, like sodium hydroxide, saponify fatty acids and destroy cell membranes. The scab never forms. So this base can just keep on burning its way through. Wear your goggles when handling it. Number 9, sodium hypochlorite. In solution, this chemical forms bleach, an excellent antimicrobial because it's a strong and corrosive oxidant. Whilst most researchers have gotten a burning whiff and maybe a splash of this irritant, they may not know that bleach can actually cause allergic contact dermatitis. Further exposure can trigger skin reactions to even dilute bleach. Number 10, tetrahydrofuran, also known as THF. THF is a flammable solvent. Over time, it produces shock-sensitive explosive peroxides. If the THF evaporates off, the peroxides will concentrate in the remaining solution. Even the slight bumping of a container containing concentrated peroxides can result in an explosion. And that's that. Hopefully this episode of Mentors at Your Benchside reminded you to treat even everyday chemicals with a little caution. Check out the episode description for links to related articles and resources, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to get more help and advice.